Jain. Ajay, for whoever doesn't know, has wrote his first book on how to utilize LinkedIn for career success. And then Ajay has primarily been a journalist, blogger, photographer, travel related writer. And after that, he came out with a book on interesting um, street signs
Road signs
across India. Across India or
they were mostly North India.
North India. And so it was called Peep Peep.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep. So that was a road sign that he came across with and made that into the title of his book. Second book was around Ladakh specifically.
Postcards from Ladakh.
But I think so. What's your story, Ajay? How did you end up branding yourself? I think being an author is like the ultimate in branding yourself. You're essentially convincing somebody to invest a lot of money in what you can produce so that ton of other people read about it.
I think going back to a few days, after God made this world, and on Sunday, the rest of a few days after that, I was born, and did the usual stuff. Went to DC, did engineering, did my MBA, spent 5 years in IT hardware, not software for a change. Did sports management for 4 years, and then I left. I said like, okay, what the hell? After 40 years, okay, I'll be selling more printers and more peripherals and making more printers and computers and all. Big deal. Then I decided to try my hand at sports management. Did a lot of interesting stuff. Introduced sports like pool and bowling in the country. We set up infrastructure for it. We took teams to do World Cups and all. Had a lot of fun, but thanks to the government of the day, all the wrong stuff hit the fan. So I did a lot of branding around what we were doing. Became a very, very minute celebrity in this field, but made no money. So then suddenly one day I realized, hey, I wanted to be a journalist when I was back in school, and everybody said, how can you be a journalist? What a career, and go and do engineering and all that stuff. So I said, okay, I'm dropping everything. Went to the UK at the ripe age of 31. Did a master's in journalism. Came back, worked with Financial Express. Did that for a couple of years. Then that quarterly deja vu set in. So I dropped that and started a youth newspaper and ran that for a while. And then somebody told me there's a thing called blogs. So why don't you become a blogger? So I did. I started experimenting with blogs. I had a youth blog at one time. Then I started a technology blog. The technology blog is still running. I don't write on it too much now because of my other preoccupations. But I have a team that writes for me now on that, and that's called Tech Gazing. Then and then suddenly one fine day I'd gone on a holiday to the Himalayas, and I said like, hey, this is where I want to spend more time. But how do I justify it? Let me become a travel writer. Justify everything. So, and anyway, as a freelance columnist and a blogger, I wasn't really making too much money because even when you have a column in the Hindustan Times, they pay you a pittance. So you may feel good, okay, hey, wow, Hindustan Times, you printed your stuff. But at the end of it, and then I said like, okay, I write 50 columns for Hindustan Times in a year. In that same effort, I can possibly bring out a book. And when I was doing my technology blogging, I started writing a lot on LinkedIn, using LinkedIn and all. And I brought out a white paper on 10 ways to use LinkedIn too.
And this is way back. This is way back before even LinkedIn had exploded in India or anything.
So that
2005?
No, that book was in 2010, right? The book came out late 2008 or 2007.
Must be 2007.
2007, December 2008 January.
Yes.
Yeah, and and I said, okay, I have a white paper. I've always wanted to write a book, and let me extrapolate this white paper. I've already had the 10 points, the structure, so I said the same thing in 200 pages. And so the first book was born, and okay, that felt good. It sold more in the US than over here, than in India. In India, I sold a fair number, but somehow we Indians have a bad habit, हमें बता दो, but don't ask us to read stuff, right? Yeah.
That's free.
Yeah, or give us a book for free. We still won't read it, but give us a book for free. Yeah, but I sold a fair number, and so it was feel good. I said, okay, I can write a book, and then I had to, but since I moved to travel, and I said, okay, I started my travel blog, but I said, okay, again the ultimate aspiration is to write books. For whatever you might say, internet is the big thing, internet is going to make money, do this, do that. I said, like, no, I have to have books in my name. So then the process started. So I already have 2 books to my credit and working on more in the pipeline. So in fact, the last few weeks I've been on the drawing board. Okay, where to take all this travel stuff I'm doing. My blog is called kunzum.com. Kunzum is a pass in the Lahore-Spiti Valley of Himachal, and that's where I was standing, and that's where I said, hey, I want to keep coming to this kind of place and many more places. And so I decided to call my blog Kunzum itself. And so now currently my life is literally and figuratively a journey to explore more and more about of the Indian subcontinent. I've just come back from a big drive from Nepal to Arunachal. Spent 49 days, drove around 8,500 kilometers. So I'm back in town and I'm just wondering, why is everyone so stressed here? Why is everyone rushing to, just go and chill here, take it easy.
So if you had to kind of look back and say, the lessons I learned in, let's call it personal branding. People know Ajay, Jain, writer, blogger. In retrospect, obviously, when you're in the flow, you take decisions based on an intel. But when you look back and connect the dots, what are the big learnings?
Well, the big learning I'm still trying to learn is personal branding is fine, but where is the paycheck coming from? Right? So I've, even when I was doing sports management and I'm doing all this blogging stuff and all, the personal branding is fine. There's a certain set of people who know about me. The media writes about me from time to time. However, I still need to, monetize my personal branding. And I think the biggest lesson is that I've learned is you have to be very clear in what you're communicating. Who are you? Right? Are you a tech blogger? Are you a travel blogger? Are you a photographer? Are you a journalist? So you have to get your positioning right. So if somebody sees your profile, they know what you are. Or you very clearly project, okay, you are a multitasker. You write on technology and you write on travel. You know a thing or two about social media and you know a thing or two about personal branding. Do you consult on that or do you just
Exactly, that's the question I had in mind because I had various tags for you. So do you think they fit in the kind of image you want to project, the personal brand you carry around you?
Well,
blogger, picture.
I think it's one of the reasons why I stopped paying attention. I stopped spending time writing on technology is I realized I can't do justice to both travel and technology unless I was still in the journalistic mode. Okay, I'm writing weekday features on technology and weekend features on travel, which I've done in the past. Right, I've written on multiple subjects, but when you get into the mode of writing books and you have to do photography and you have to be on the road for like I was on the road for 49 days, right? Nothing happens while I'm away because even if I have internet connection or I have mobile connection, I don't have the time, and I would rather be looking out for rhinos rather than punching stuff on the keyboard.
What you said was very interesting because every time I speak at a journalism school and I talk about how is social media changing journalism and as journalism students what should they be thinking about, one of the things I end up telling them, much to the dismay of all the professors there, is that you should stop thinking of trying to use social media